the Paley, this 18th century theologian. I think that was the title of the treatise, right? Natural Theology, and of course he famously, that work it gave the title. Richard Dawkins uses the title of his book, The Blind Watchmaker. We won't get into the watchmaker argument that Paley makes, but I will say that, it was an argument. Paley was arguing that because of the nature of nature, there must be a God. But to look at his argument more generically, he was saying that the nature of nature indicates that there must be a higher purpose. Nature is clearly here to do something. Animals are clearly designed to do something. Now, subsequently, we discovered that, yes, in a sense, animals are here to do something, but natural selection is the process that imbued them with this purpose. So much for the God argument. But of course, that doesn't eliminate the possibility that the whole thing has, in some sense, a higher purpose. And higher purpose, the idea that there is some larger purpose, and a purpose that should inform our ethics even, but in any event, the idea of some larger purpose unfolding, maybe through the workings of natural selection, through the creation of the universe, whatever, that is a theme that, of course, has been found in many religions. Purpose, teleology. You have not referred to it, and I'm just wondering what your view is. Are you agnostic? Are you do you tend to lean against the idea, or what?
Yeah, I lean against the idea of purpose heavily. What we have is a structure of valuational possibilities. That's what's objective, not purpose. And there's lots of ways of realizing those possibilities. It's not necessary, probably, that we needed to have biology based on 20 amino acids forming proteins. It's not necessary. Maybe there could have been another number, or they could have been different. But far back in the history of our ecology, there was some type of realized possibility that occurred, some moment of choice, and that caused everything to go down one path rather than another. So I don't think purpose is a very useful category at all in either the teleology form of it or teleonomy, when you say there's a purpose built into the natural laws. Lots of religious naturalists will say teleonomy is important, the purpose built into the natural laws, but I think that's just a philosophical confusion. And as for Paley, the natural theology does occur in the very, very long title of that book. And he does work as a natural theologian, rejecting information that comes from special revelation, which is the premise of natural theology. But his argument is wrong. He makes the same argument that Aristotle made almost 2,500 years earlier. Aristotle formed the idea of evolution by natural selection and rejected it based on the design argument. Paley made exactly the same argument. He rejected, except he didn't name, like Aristotle did, he didn't name the evolutionary alternative. So I think the only problem with Paley's book is that the argument is bad. There's no other problem with it. The argument's just bad, and there's no methodological problem with it. He just got it wrong. He's making the same mistake that intelligent design theorists are making in our own time, and that Aristotle made in his.
Right. Although, as Dawkins himself notes, the first half of his argument is sound in the sense that Paley was right to look at animals and say, wait a second, this demands a special kind of explanation. The explanation for how this animal got here is not going to be the same as the explanation for how this rock got here, because the animal evidently embodies functionality. So he got that part right, and he can be excused for not knowing about natural selection, I think, in the 18th century.
Yeah, sure, though he should have read Aristotle, and he should have seen it there in Aristotle. But in any event, yes, I didn't say it's a terrible book. The argument's flawed. Right? It's actually a brilliant book. His sensitivity to nature is very similar to Aristotle's, in fact. He had immense sensitivity, like Dawkins does, to the intricacies of natural processes. Mm-hmm. And it's a very impressive book at that level. It's just that the inference structure he used to get to his conclusions is fatally flawed.
Well, at the very end, but the first part, yeah. Okay. Well, listen, so we've been at this about an hour. I could keep talking because this is very interesting, but I'll let you go. So thank you so much, Wesley Wildman. And again, your book is Religious and Spiritual Experiences. Is there anything else you'd like to plug? I mean, I don't know, a Twitter feed or a website people can look at, or anything?
If people want to find out about me, my writings and so forth, wesleywildman.com is the place to go. That's all I would offer at this point.
Okay. Well, thanks again for taking the time.
You're welcome.
Okay. Bye-bye.